Good morning, boxing people. This is like a historic sort of thing, if you get what I mean. I want to talk about Carl Froch and George Groves. I know it's a fight that's long gone, you know, their rivalry was long since past and, you know, been and gone and what have you, but that was terrible. Everyone switched on Carl Froch. You know, I think the first fight, George Groves was on his way to getting hurt. John Lewis, when he stopped that fight, Ian Lewis, whatever his name is, you know, when he stopped that fight, George was on his way to getting hurt, make no mistake. You know, look what he done to Jermaine Taylor in the last round. Carl Froch gets better as the fight goes on. Anyway, first fight. Anyone who thinks George Groves had a start, you know, had a chance at winning that, don't really know boxing, because he didn't, and he wasn't going to, and he was on, you know, another minute, and he'd have been out of that fight anyway. He jumped the I'll give this, right, the referee maybe was a little bit quick at jumping on that. However, it was all going to end the same way anyway. And then, wow, how the public changed their opinions. Everyone went from being a nation of Carl Froch supporters to George Groves. And you've got to think, every time Carl Froch has gone into battle, and he's just fought all over the world, you know, America, he's fought everywhere. And he comes to fight. You can't show me a fight where Carl Froch has cuddled the other fella through the whole fight. He comes to fight, he comes to knock you out, and he gives it all he's got. And for people to turn on him like they did, and then George Groves to pick up on it and start to try and get into his head like he did, I could see in the lead up to the second fight what was coming. You know, Carl wanted to do him at the stadium. I could see it in his eyes. You know, them cameras not there, and he had George Groves alone. Do you think George Groves would have given it the big one like that to him in the street? Never. And every time Carl Froch has fought, what's on the back of his trunks? Yeah, that's right, the Union Jack. So technically he's been fighting for the country as well as himself. You know, it's prize fighting. He's got to get paid. He's fighting. But it shows you how fickle some of you boxing fans are. It's only, you know, the proper boxing people out there that really, you know, would have probably fought the same way as me. To see the public literally switch in a couple of minutes over the mood, you know. He was on his way out. Go and watch it and tell me honestly, hand on heart, that Froch wouldn't have finished him in the next 3 minutes. So Mr. Lewis done him a favour. But George ultimately cashed in on it, got the rematch, and then Carl put the full stop to the whole thing. Like he was going to do in the first fight, but you know, George obviously made a lot of money out of it. However, he damaged his career because of it. And I don't blame Carl Froch if he never laces up a pair of gloves again, because you were disloyal. And that must have really hurt Carl Froch. It did. You could see it in him. It affected him. And I don't blame him if he never fights again. If you've made your money, Carl, you sit back, mate, because you see how fickle they are. And what is George Groves now? A mere footnote in the career of Carl Froch. You know, he done himself. He peaked too soon. Bit off more than he could chew. Punches like that, you know, do damage. But, you know, I'm sure if George could go back in time, he would probably change a few things about that. He probably wouldn't have had the second fight. And if he'd have just lived off the glory of the first fight, he could have built a career on that. But you got it in your head you could beat Carl Froch. Carl Froch beats Carl Froch. The geezer's chin is made of iron. No one's ever floored him proper. He was cross-legged. He was literally you know, he crossed his feet, which is a no-no. Anyone that knows boxing, you know, if you look at how he got caught, his feet were together, literally. Not a good point of balance, do you know what I mean? And basically this video was just to say, Carl Froch, I think you're a legend. and I never lost the faith. Good on ya. Good luck with your future, mate, and you'll go down in history as as a very, very tough customer. And I'd like to thank you for all the fights I've watched. Been great nights. God bless Froch. And you should be ashamed of yourself if you switched that easy.